Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hey, we made it! Welcome everyone to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am, of course, Shae Zombie. It's nice to see you all. Over to this side, I've got my co-host, Cyborg Valkyrie. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. And by the way, the intro just stopped playing for me in time for me to unmute my mic. So
perfect. Our lag sucks. This is great. And okay, so we are covering a super awesome campaign, and as a result, I've got Doc Salem, aka Preston, over to this side because I can't tell sides. And Preston is the artist for Rockabilly Roadtrip. We've also got Jesse, who's down below. Jesse is the writer. Say hi, Jesse.
Hello.
There we go. And then we've got Chris, who does all of the practical effects and the builds and the cool shit for the movie, because why not make this also a movie? Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Awesome. So this, for everyone who's wondering why we're like almost 2 hours late from when we, because technical issues suck. I overslept, and so cosplay issues, and then I'm sorry. My fucking dog.
Your dog is cheering you on.
It's great. She's like, all of this happened for sure.
Are you sure that was your dog playing with the squeaky toy?
Currently we're gonna see. Are you done? Are you good? Cool.
It's a baby Yoda using the Force on a squeaky toy.
Oh, you know what? I love shows that don't wait to go off the rails. It's nice. But yeah, so what was I even saying? I was saying something. Yeah, so we had all kinds of technical issues. Things were really crazy. But we also have 2 extra guests that we weren't expecting, which is fucking amazing to talk to all 3 of you guys about this. Speaking of, let's go to Jesse. And you can go ahead and give us like the quick abstract about what is Rockabilly Roadtrip.
All right, so Rockabilly Roadtrip is an indie comic. It's actually probably over a decade old now. Preston and I met online at some really kinky dating site, and we decided to make some comics. So it's about this guy, Nicky the Pipe, who can build anything. That's pretty much his only power. He's kind of a little scrawny, a little dorky, but when he gets in the garage, he can do anything. So in true fashion of rat rod culture, he builds this badass car, which he calls the Devil Driver. It's like his lifelong dream, and then he finishes it, and he gets bored. So he decides he's going to make a passenger dummy, kind of like a statuesque woman, his dream woman. And in the comic book, she mysteriously comes to life, and he figures what better way to show her, the ways of the world and try to win her heart by having a cross-country road trip in the car he just built. And off on their trip, pretty much every state they run into some kind of weird supernatural problem that they got to put their heads together and solve. So it's a little bit of a monster of the week type of storyline, encapsulated in one giant storyline, which is the cross-country road trip.
Gotcha. Well, and this is the car, right?
That's the car.
Excellent. All right,
I like the car. I very much like it. So quick question, since Chris is the one that does all of the practical builds and stuff, is our main mechanic dude kind of like Chris?
Well, he's human, I guess.
You share being human and having a pulse. Congratulations, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Preston.
It's not just that. It was very grudging that he admitted that he's human, I guess.
Well,
I guarantee he's wearing a stained wife beater under that jacket.
Wait.
Chris had to check.
Wait,
I was looking to see. No, it's actually
other
great.
kinds?
Well, actually, a funny story is when Preston came to me about the Rockabilly Road Trip. I never met Jesse, but this was probably 10 years ago, and me and Preston did a car together that took first place in the Pioneer 2007 build-off in Las Vegas. And that's when they came to me. They're like, hey, we need to build this car from the comic book. And I want to say that was actually probably 12 years ago, huh, Jesse? When y'all started in 2007.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time.
So, yeah, so the first car.
On Comicsology, I think it was 2006 and 2016 were the release dates from what I saw.
Damn.
Anyone?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. We've been at this for a long time. It just won't die, actually. It's
I'm sorry, have you been actively trying to kill it? Is that what...
I think we tried to give up on it a few times, but it just didn't. Yeah, but we always keep going back to it. I don't know why. It's just that's.
I would say the coolest thing though is when we did the stinger, the little
sizzle
video,
yeah,
the sizzle reel. Doing that and watching the comic book actually come to life was really I think the coolest part after, you're talking 10, 12 years of a comic book and then actually seeing it starting and running and then running in the ditch and things flying off the rail, because I mean, we had fun doing the video, but I would say running the car in the ditch was like a wake up moment for me. Like, oh crap, we just wrecked the car.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was awesome. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's it. Now the filming's over." And I was like, "Dude, just pull that thing out, hose it off, and let's get the shit rolling." And that's exactly what we did too. It was nuts.
Because that car, that's a 600 horsepower, vehicle. That's not a, it's not a four banger, and I would say that goes along with the comic book, what Jesse and Preston have put into this, from years back, just watching it come to life. It's awesome. It's a lot of creativity involved in what we're doing.
So is this the car? This is what a Google image search takes me to.
That's it. That's the car.
Yep.
This is garage.
We actually upped the size of the tires on the back though. Like they massively upped the size of the tires. That picture
like
there.
That?
That's got
there. It is.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Dude, I want this car.
You say that.
You'd say that.
That car is completely undrivable. Actually, you got to get a professional driver to come drive. In fact, that's him standing behind the car.
Actually,
is he pushing it?
No, it's a death trap. That car is so powerful, and the frame just can't handle a motor. It's insane.
And they had no problem strapping me to the hood for a stunt.
Yeah,
there's no shocks.
I noticed that.
So I'm gonna venture a suggestion here and say tow car.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we did for some of the close-up scenes, but for the actual stunts, we actually had the driver drive the car, spin it out. That's how it ended up in the ditch. And, the tires got too hot. They caught they stuck to the pavement, and it just flung the car right into the ditch. And then he gunned it once it hit the ditch, and there's just fountains of mud and dirt, water just coming out. I guess he thought he could get out like that. I mean, it was insane.
Wow.
It was.
Tell me you got that on film.
We do actually.
Oh yeah, we do. It's on YouTube, ain't it? Or Facebook?
I'll find it real quick on our Instagram.
Oh my god.
So what we actually did was we built underneath the front of the car, the face. What we did was we built a towing mechanism that actually hooks to the trailer hitch of a truck. Okay. And we was able to pull the car, and the driver didn't have to steer it really or anything. It was just towed right behind the car. So when we did the part with Jesse on the hood, which I was still nervous, I was like, God, I hope you don't fall through the hood of that car. But it was. We're actually in the process of redoing the car to make it more manageable. You actually be able to get on the interstate and actually drive the car. it's in a rebuilding process right now.
Because we want to do YouTube webisodes with the Rockabilly Roadtrip people in the car. Like, you know, have them go to Starbucks or some stupid shit like that.
Say this: those eyes need to light up if they don't already.
Oh, they do. They do.
Oh,
Yeah, they light up red. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You need a smoke machine mounted down here.
We thought about that, but we couldn't. We were going to put sprayers on the exhaust, but we never had time before we need to have the car done by a certain date because we had everything together to start filming. But the sprayers on the exhaust would have caused flames to come out of the exhaust pipes.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, it was going to be a beast, dude. Let me tell you something. People would stop on the highway and just come over there and be like, "Oh my god, that looks like a car that eats other cars." You know?
Exactly. That's what I was saying at the beginning. This absolutely looks like something from Death Race.
Yes. Yeah.
We actually had a problem filming because people were stopping in the middle of the road, and we weren't supposed to be out there in the first place. I think they call that like guerrilla filming or whatever you want to call it. But we weren't even supposed to be out there, and I'm like, keep going. I'm like waving them like go, and then just like they want to take pictures of the car. They're like wanting autographs. They don't even know the hell's like we're shooting a movie, but they just like, hey, can I get your autograph? I'm like, I'm not in the movie. But the girl with the shiny hiney is. You know,
doesn't matter. You built the damn car. I want your autograph.
And they're like, "What movie?"
There's a movie. So this is what makes me laugh, and the reason why, like, Chris, seriously, if you end up like just with an extra one of these somehow, like, get your girl up. No, there's this like tattoo place that I've literally never gone and checked, didn't even care about. There's this tattoo place that's down the street from my house, and the guy who owns it lives in my neighborhood and has a fucking roadster that is the most ridiculous roadster I have ever seen up until this. And it's a lime green. It's got fucking slime coming off of it. There's skulls everywhere. I think that at some point the back panel of it, instead of it being like an actual window, it's just bent metal to look like a spider web for whatever the fuck reason. Like, and this dude who drives it looks every bit the kind of guy who owns a car like that. If I could show up with that and drive through my neighborhood with that bitch, I win.
You really would.
I would win in an instant. Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, the cool thing is Preston and Jesse, when they came up with this concept, and it's like whenever me and Preston, because when we built the face of that car, Preston was there for like every second of it. We actually put a print book up on the wall, and we had to cut metal and bend metal and do all, and literally go through the comic book and look at like every different angle of the pictures to try to make this car look just like it does in the comic book. And if you look at the car and then you go look at every comic book with the car in it, that it's to proportion. Everything matches, like all the way to size and everything. It's perfect, just like the comic book itself, and the stories that go along with it. The thought that's been put into this for the last 12 years is amazing, you know. And I think that's one good thing about great things. It just takes time, you know. It's kind of like a roast, you know. You just can't put it in the crock pot and expect to cook for an hour. But it's a really it really is.
I love this picture.
An ass. Why?
I was like, that's got to be Chris. It has to be Chris.
I forgot about that picture.
He looks like that dude from The Notebook.
Oh my god!
Wow, I think that's the girliest thing that's ever been said on this show. I've never seen The Notebook, Preston.
Oh my god!
Oops.
That was a long night.
I can tell you
It was,
like
dude.
Like, I'm sure you're not, but you super look like you're way out of it. Just like, fuck the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were filming for a couple of days straight, and it was crazy. I mean, like for what was it, 2-3 days, and it was like 24 hours a day. There wasn't any stopping. You know, it was just like eat, film.
Flew down from New York, and we're like, yeah, tonight we'll go out New Orleans. We'll stay down. Tomorrow night, third night, we're just like crawl back to the hotel and crash.
Dude, that's the way it goes though. When you're working on film in any capacity, like even this shit that I was doing, it's set. Are you fucking kidding me right now, Sai? If I could boot you from my own show, I would.
I was saying, oh my God, for something that I'm watching, you asshole.
Anyway, so when we're filming and we have like sets that are on, you only have countdown timers and everything. I don't know how, but every single one of these was supposed to end at 3, and I never ended up leaving to start my hour drive back to where I actually live until like 5 a.m. Every single night. And I was like, how do you do this? You have a set amount of time. You have to be off of the stage. How the fuck am I not leaving until 5 a.m. every single night? It's just, and it's the mystery of film. Anytime I ever did anything, television production for school, when I was doing that kind of shit, doing streams, like literally anything with film, it's like a black hole of time, and just everything disappears into it. It's insanity.
One of the cool things about like when we shot the videos, watching Jesse's wife take this girl who I didn't realize she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Sarah Previs, was that her name? Yeah. So she was on the show for this commercial called Shiny Hiney, and it was like a brush that you scrub your ass with, and I was like, what in the?
Oh my gosh! No, I know exactly what you're talking about. The Practical Jokers. It's like a weird little. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, that's terrible.
She was also on The Purge, the TV show. She was the.
Oh my gosh!
What was she? She was the infomercial hostess.
Yeah,
that's what she was. Yeah.
And then she hosted the game show.
HQ.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, HQ. So
interesting.
But Jesse's wife completely took this girl and turned her into Patches, and it was cool to watch the transformation and then just watch the whole thing come together. But it took so damn long, man. It was just like, the makeup and then the getting the guys from the filming company, because they're so particular about lights and everything's got to be perfect. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just cool watching things come to life like that,
Right. No, absolutely.
I mean, I build cars, but to watch film come together like that is, oh, there it is.
Holy shit.
That's the overhead view. Yeah.
Oh my God.
In the ditch.
There's the fountains of mud and dirt and
So say when you were yelling,
that's how we baptize people in the swamp.
Say when you were yelling at me for being like laughing out loud while you were trying to tell whatever cute little story that you had going on. This is what I was looking at and trying to figure out how to share it. So
I was on the other side of the trees and I heard shit, and then I heard then I seen a wall of mud and water shoot up over the trees, and I went, they wrecked the damn car. I was like, you gotta kill me.
Well, in that same shot, what's not seen is Jesse is supposed to jump out and roll on the ground as the car is doing a spin out, and they misjudge how far away the car was going to be from him. So instead of saying action, they were like, watch the fuck out.
So I'm just gonna ask, did you actually have a stunt coordinator, or was this just?
Yeah, sure.
It was Jesse.
They had the best that their budget could buy.
Yeah.
That's a trick question. Like, if there was one required by law, we had one. If not, then okay.
Well, law never really came into the whole mix.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about too. That whole so there's permits and there's certain steps you're supposed to take in order to film. Or you just claim ignorance and show up with a camera and see how long before you get shooed away.
That's exactly what we did.
It was like, I needed a permit for this? Oh, shucky darn. I had no idea. Well, that's fine. We'll just wrap up right now. You have a great day. And just off you go. Be like, how much did we get? Did we get most of it?
That's totally Dave Chappelle. I didn't know you couldn't do that, officer.
And now
you know.
Yeah, and that car was completely illegal. Like there was no legal anything on that car.
No bumpers.
I'm sure past emissions.
It never had a license plate. It never had a freaking brake tag. Nothing. It wouldn't qualify for any of that.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. It was only a car in the look. It wasn't an actual car.
Oh, it was a car, but mainly it was. Well, I guess it was an oversized go-kart. I guess you. Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's crazy.
Well, you know, it's funny is when they got off the airplane, they get over here to Slidell, and we did a storyboard. We did everything, you know, by the book. This is how we're going to do it. They pull up, and they're like, this spot isn't going to work. And I'm like, shit. So that's not going to work. So we're like, well, let's go over here. So we go over to another spot. Like, this spot isn't going to work. And then I think by the third time we ended up in where we wrecked the car at, we ended up over there. And then, like, everything that we had planned on doing was, like, it was shit canned after that. Like, we had to come up with, it's like the seat of our pants, the whole thing. Everything changed.
Yeah, well, we followed the storyboard pretty closely. I can't say that we never did that.
No, the storyboard was good. It was the locations that we had hired a guy to do that for us, and he completely threw us under the bus. We're not going to go into that. So
I feel like that's just production.
But we had to actually make a casino for the casino scene in the trailer, and it was good that they have a warehouse around us called Movie Sets, and they rent out everything you need to create any type of set that you want. Right? I mean, it's fucking pricey, but yeah. So we had to go over there and pick out a slot machine, and here's where it gets fun: is that you can't have that shown like while you're transporting it. You have to have it completely covered, or you can get pulled over for illegal gambling in Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
So it was crazy.
Like, could you imagine the headlines, like, guys shooting illegal movie with illegal slot machine? I'm like, oh man, we're going down on this one.
A horribly illegal car.
With the illegal car, like, everything's illegal. There's nothing even.
Randomly strapped one of their crew members onto the front of. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. He mostly lived.
Yeah, and all the welds were breaking on the face, and we're like, Jesse, you sure you want to do this? You only live once.
Yeah, the stunt driver, as I'm getting strapped to the hood, the stunt driver who's bald with tattoos on his head is like shaking his head like I wouldn't.
Yeah, he's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
The guy with the skull tattoo is questioning my life.
When you have somebody whose entire job is to professionally drive and wreck cars, and he's looking at you going, this is insane. You shouldn't do this. You're like, how bad is this, actually?
I think all the welds on that front face, because the car vibrated so much, and there's no shocks on the car, and the seats in the car were actually wagons, like tractor seats, just metal seats, right?
Oh.
And I had a ride inside of it, and I was like, fuck, my backbone. But I think only
which is really like ow my ass. So,
exactly. Yeah. And I was like, and only 3 of the welds were still intact on that front face that Jesse was climbing on. This is nuts.
I have faith in Chris's wealthy ability.
Misplaced faith is what you're saying. Oh, is this the oh shit moment?
Preston's having a great time.
He's running down the fucking road.
It was awesome.
There's the car.
Oh my god!
So believe it or not,
there's
so
Jesse
the guy
about
driving.
to jump out. Way too close.
Holy fuck! Wait, so the person who's running down the street, why?
Oh, that was Chris's brother. Yeah, that was your brother, Chris.
Why?
He was going to get you to get it. They were getting a truck to go ahead and pull a car out so we could get the shot.
Okay, because it literally, what it actually looks like is like I watched it crash and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here when the cops show up and be like, nah, I don't know what was happening over there.
I was just walking off.
It was nuts.
I was just strolling through the swamp area and then some shit happened and then I just took off because that sounded like I'm a good person and that sounded like bad things.
Oh, it was great.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
You know what's even funnier? There's no drugs involved. There were no drugs involved.
I don't know if that's funnier or sadder. Like, I feel like I might feel a little bit better if you guys were all super high when you decided to do this. Like, no, we were really drunk and it sounded like a good idea.
There was no hold my beer. It was hold my fucking vitamin water or whatever.
Oh my god.
That's just
It's a
sad.
whole my needed electrolytes. What am out here? Oh my gosh.
The guy that was driving the car, he's actually helping me right now because we're rebuilding the car. And the other guy that's helping me actually owns, I don't know if y'all are familiar with monster trucks, but he owns like a Sudden Impact, Ground Pounder.
Wow.
He's real big in the monster truck scene.
He also doesn't he own
Truckzilla?
like that one that transforms into a dinosaur?
Yeah, the transformer, like that's blows the flames out the mouth. So he's actually helping me get the new car together because the new car, we want to be able to get in the car and drive it down the interstate with patches and Nikki the pipe in it and
Legally.
actually legally do
yes.
it and get some good video footage of what people like. I mean, because let's be honest with ourselves. Like, that's just not something you see every day. Like, you can see the car, but the people actually in the car, I mean, pulling up to Starbucks and getting out and ordering a mocha latte or something, like, really?
Oh my god.
Did that just happen? I mean, that's just...
Go get a double quarter pounder.
Yeah, I mean, let's bring it to life. If we're going to do it, go big or go home.
I want to see Patches order a big fucking monster burger.
Can it be Patches? Oh my gosh. I'm so damn. I don't know how I'm gonna make my hair stand straight up. I'll figure it out.
Well, you don't have to because when we put on the trailer, like she has a completely hairstyle.
Oh yeah, no, you gave her rockabilly hair, which makes sense if it's a Rockabilly road trip.
So would you guys want me to show the sizzle reel?
Let's do the sizzle reel.
Shae?
Yeah, throw it up.
Finish your thought?
Oh, I was gonna say, when it comes to cosplay that isn't shitty closet play like this is, when it comes to actual cosplay, I'm generally either a purist or I do a completely like my own interpretation. I don't usually do an in between. And so it's either I'm going to do something entirely fucking different from Patches and just pretend that it's Patches, or I'm going to find a way to make all like
I would be down to see
my hair straight up.
Oh, that would be insane. That would be
with
great.
the lightning bolt, everything.
You would have to. I think you would have to like get yourself like upside down somehow.
Look, honestly, if you get me some bendy wire, maybe something to kind of put my hair around, and some of that shit that you get from Hot Topic when you want to do Liberty Spikes, I'm golden. I can make
or maybe
this happen.
some egg whites and
It'll be fine. Egg whites and cornstarch, that'll work.
I'm going to be real here for a second. Back in my teenage days, Cyborg Valkyrie was a bit of a goth.
Sorry.
So, my head was shaved entirely around the sides and the back, and then the top was about 9 inches long.
Oh, that's insane.
So what I would do would be, when it came time to do my hair, I would lay down on my bed, bent at the waist so my head was straight down. I would brush it into a spike, and I would use about half a can of Aquanet.
Jesus Christ.
Before they went pussy and got rid of their chlorofluorocarbons. So this was like the real shit.
Oh, you were totally flammable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And so it was just this huge fucking straight up spike, and then I would put like blue and silver streaks through it.
Oh, that's awesome.
like metallics.
Wait,
And,
did you have just one spike like a unicorn?
No, it was okay. God.
I just imagine like one giant spike.
No, it didn't come to a point like a fucking treasure troll, you asshole.
People have stuff up your belly.
Okay, this might not be politically correct, but Shae, you're a fucking tard. Anyway, no, it was kind of like Patch's hair.
That's
But-
awesome.
Oh my god.
But it was basically, it would read black because my hair is dark brown, and the blue and silver streaks through it. So fuck you, Shae. Anyway, yes, that's entirely possible, and yes, you put your head upside down. Absolutely.
No, I'd love to see it. I mean, we only passed on it because we didn't want the actress to go, have to dye her hair. She wasn't a redhead. You see, like she had blonde hair, and yeah. So
you need the real thing, is what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah, we had to get a wig, to go ahead and get her ready to go. So
I totally am a natural redhead and don't dye my hair at all, ever.
Drapes on set.
Well, that's why I told you, like, you should like cosplayer.
Yeah,
because
done.
it's really hard to find people that it's going to sound weird, but it's hard to find people that want to cosplay a indie character. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm 1,000% down, and I don't.
Yeah.
We don't gotta show things, Sai, because I know you, and I know that you already have shit preloaded. But no, this is like just I love doing, is going into finding indie comics, and because oh, you son of a bitch. So this is the shittiest possible thing I could have done for Monster MD. Yeah, this is Heidi, the Invisible Woman. So I actually green screened out my neck and my arm, so I would be invisible.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. That's
yeah,
awesome. I like that one. That's the one I've seen first. I've seen that one.
Yeah, that one. We did that for Tales from the Classroom. Is a zombie book. So, but it's a lighthearted zombie book. So
yes, it's a very campy zombie book, and not to be outdone.
That would be for
Zombie
for
High?
Adam Post. Yeah.
No,
Adam
for
Post.
College of the Dead.
There you
College
go.
of the Dead. That's
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because his is a lot more serious. His is a lot more like zombies that are eating your face off. Not gee, it's hard to adjust to life. Also, I'm a zombie. Like Tales from the Classroom. So we got a lot of interesting cosplays. But honestly, when you start looking at, you can take this down, Si. Like seriously.
Well, I was waiting to actually be able to fucking say something if my co-host would take a breath.
Okay, go. Say what you're gonna say. I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay, I don't know how many of you guys are Star Wars fans, but tell me this doesn't also read as like Sith makeup, like being corrupted by the dark side.
Actually,
Oh wow.
I mean, if you look in the Star Wars games, that kind of veininess around the eyes and the mouth.
well,
that's
it also looks like a pissed off Maleficent. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. But the point that I was gonna make is when you start looking at like I like going for more unique kind of stuff. When you look at like mainstream, everybody wants to go and get Wonder Woman cosplay. You go to festivals and stuff, and everybody's got some like stupid shit they got off of Target or Walmart, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm Wonder Woman because that's what I do." I've noticed that indie creators are so creative in their character design usually, and it's actually a really, really big challenge to try and do their creations justice. And so it turns into this like, fuck yeah, I want to try and do this one because that's hard. That's, trying to figure out how I was going to be an invisible woman. And by the way, I had to wrap myself. That was why it was so shit. If you've ever tried to wrap your entire body in what is not gauze, but a tore up bed sheet. Like it doesn't work.
Were you embarrassed by me showing your cosplay a second ago?
I'm afraid to answer.
So here's like here's a collage I made of some of her cosplays. Just kind of. Yeah,
I'm digging the one with the blue jewels. What is that from? Like that one's really cool.
Lady Alchemy
with the zipper face too. That's bad.
Yeah, so the Blue Jeweled one came from Lady Alchemy because it's all about, alchemy and kind of gothic type stuff and a little bit of a burlesque vibe. The Zipper Eye was for a horror stream I did. We did a view party for one of our buddies, Alasmat. He made a horror film, and we all watched it and kind of riff tracked through it, and so that was my look.
That's awesome.
For that
like,
stream.
That's badass.
It was really fun.
To draw everyone's attention to the mid left.
The duck onesie.
Yes.
Why is that one the smallest one up there?
Because she knew I'd kill her if it was big. The worst part is the reason I own a duck onesie.
We weren't going to go there.
I know. So my military unit were the tough ducks. So I bought a duck onesie. So when we go and have events, I could be a duck.
Wow.
This is my life. Welcome to it, everyone. This is fun.
Awesome.
Were we going to play the sizzle reel?
No,
or are we going to keep
anymore.
doing this?
Not anymore. This has turned into, once again, Embarrass Shae stream.
It's like this is just how red can we make Shae?
Indeed. So I'm going to do the thing that, okay, anyone who wasn't in the backstage doesn't know that we just kind of explained how we totally biffed the stream and couldn't even get the goddamn thing to stop without me like going into YouTube and taking a hammer to our channel. And the way that happened was I had shared screen multiple times during a broadcast, and then I decided to share screen with audio. And the second I hit the share button, the earth imploded. And so that's just to kind of preface this, that's what I'm doing right now.
Wait, so do we want to do this first, or do we want to show the artwork first, and then we'll do this last?
It's already done.
Uh-oh. Okay. Fingers crossed.
No, I've already done it. If you can hear me, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic so that you do not get feedback through my ears to my mic.
Currently sympathize with the
Green light, yellow light, red light, go. I wasn't born to taste the real bride. Then I feel my pride. Now it's middle to middle, blows my mind. It's crazy. It's Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby. So crazy. It's Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby.
I freaking love that. That is so much fun.
I wanna point out that the theme song was done by the Vulture Club. They're a British rockabilly band, and they are so badass.
It's perfect. It's definitely the right feel for everything that you guys are doing too. It's so cool.
Yeah.
First of all, I loved it. Second of all, as a channel co-owner,
I really love that. It kind of encapsulates the allure that is rockabilly. which I think that you guys do a really good job with the writing and kind of like the humor and stuff like that. But it's all still kind of gritty and still kind of entertaining, really. And then seeing the way that you guys kind of did everything with that whole, the close up on the little coin that has a cross like etched in it, and so it's obviously going to take out a vampire, which is just it's ridiculous, but it's amazing. It's so good.
Thank you.
I also want to point out that we're rappers. We don't do rockabilly at all. We
right.
I think Cy's having audio trouble.
Oh goodness, this is going to be interesting.
You know what I like about it?
Yeah, we can hear you, Cy.
Okay, good. So I love that fucking trailer.
That might be my problem.
Well, fix your shit, bitch.
This keeps cutting you off.
I'll fix that. Hold on. She's muted. All right, so yeah, she just realized it too. So, as a channel co-owner, I have to ask you this question. Please tell me that wasn't copyrighted music that I just played live on our stream.
No, it's not. Okay. No, that's ours.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure, because after the music started picking up, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it sounds that good, huh? They did a good job.
It sounds awesome. Shae, you can unmute if you can fucking hear me, bitch. Nope.
It's our show now.
I can't unmute her. I can mute her, but not unmute her.
She unmutes herself, or?
Yes, she can unmute herself.
So I can unmute, but I can't hear anything that Cy is saying, so it doesn't really help me. I can hear you three. I can't hear my asshole co-host, so I didn't unmute because I was typing, explaining that I can't fucking hear you.
Can you fucking hear me now?
I might have to drop and come back. I don't know what's up with my audio.
Do it.
You guys are gonna have to tell me if Cy says something.
I read the fucking private chat. That's what it's there
for. All right, we lost a host. Now let's go crazy on this motherfucker.
So, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
That's awesome.
Preston, why do you not have a video up? Why do you just have a little ugly green goblin?
I lost my camera, and it's somewhere still around here. I just can't find it. My office is a mess. And that's my Doc Salem character that will also be going live later on this year. So, and I'll be on. I'm going to try to get on this show again to go ahead and promote it. although there will not be a movie trailer that goes along with Doc Salem.
You need to do it, and you need to have copyrighted music, and then just get invited on the streams of people you hate. And then like randomly record them. Shae, before I add you back in, can you hear me? I need you to emphatically shake your head. I can't read your lips when you're a thumbnail. Okay, I'm gonna guess by those fingers.
Yes, I could hear you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So mean.
What happens when you do play copyrighted music on your station? Like, do you get a strike?
Yes, you get a copyright strike. You either get a claim or a strike, depending on how much of an asshole the person is that actually has the copyright.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, either they claim any monies that you're getting for the ad revenue off that, which is obviously the lesser of two evils, or you have a copyright strike against your channel, at which point you can't stream for 90 days.
Oh, wow. That sucks. Yes. Like, how many strikes do you need to get before they actually take you off permanently?
Your channel will disappear at the third.
Oh.
Now you can appeal. Yep, you can appeal. But it is not an easy process. You either have to prove fair use or that it's transformative, that basically you're critiquing the thing with the music in it, and that you're talking enough to actually be lending your 2 cents to whatever's going on.
What a really thin line you're walking when you.
It is. It's really up to the interpretation of the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and how basically how much of a benefit YouTube feels that your channel is, or not.
Looks like Shae just walked away. She's like,
She did. She's dealing with her dog.
Her dog.
So just so you guys know, I'm going to reshuffle y'all to put Shae up at the top so that when we do our outro, it's a little bit easier. So you guys are going to pop in and out of backstage as I randomly shuffle.
Okay.
But let's see. Yes, I remember that the order you guys are in. So just give me 1 second. That. Does that look about right?
Aesthetically, it looks perfect.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, she's back. Damn it.
well, Shae. Hold on. Okay, now she is. Okay, while Shae's gone, let's all talk shit about her. Oh, damn, she's bad.
Let's tell her we're gonna leave.
Why would you wait for me to leave to talk shit?
I know.
As if you don't talk shit incessantly when I'm here.
Shae, we decided that we're all going to make a copyright claim, unless we make you do a stunt for us.
Oh.
It's not for truth and dare.
What stunt? Because I will let this entire channel crash and burn, depending on. Oh my gosh!
And it literally might have been something that we did in another stream, and I can just pull up a clip.
So I'm going to add something in here about the comic book and what I can say about Jesse and Preston. That one thing I've noticed over the years when it comes to comic books or movies that are coming out is the originality of what they're doing. If that, because you see so many people trying to copy things, and sometimes they do it so, I guess it's weird because it's not like they're trying to exactly copy something, but they do it in the same sense where you're like, that's just like whatever I just watched, And,
yeah, it's a little bit too much of a direct swipe is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm be honest with you, I'm not a big comic guy. I'm not as fluent in.
Get out of here,
Jesse. And,
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to do it.
Because Preston's called me out on quite a few things sometimes, and I'm like, I ran the World of Wheels in New Orleans for years, and I had my biggest show I ever did. It was 300,000 square feet. Preston walks into the show and comes and finds me, and he's dressed up like this comic book character. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Why are you here like this? And he's like, dude, there's a comic show next door. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and I walked over there and I was like, damn. I said, the comic book show's bigger than my car show. I said, this is crazy. And I didn't even realize.
They're just a little bit popular, no big deal.
Just a little.
Well, I didn't realize it. I'm eating breakfast one morning at the same show. I'm eating breakfast, and the original Batman. What was his
Adam
name?
West.
Yes. I'm eating breakfast next to this guy, and I had no clue. I'm sitting here having a conversation with this dude.
So now I can blame you because he died. So
yeah, I heard it, and I got it wasn't. I didn't cook the breakfast.
Did you shake his hand? Because that's kind of a recurring thing.
No, actually, I did.
Okay.
Because when we were sitting there and just talking, they didn't tell me who he was until I got up and walked out. I think this was in 2010. Yeah, 2010 in New Orleans. And I got up and walked out, and they're like, and somebody walked up and tapped me like, hey, Macy, who you were just talking to? I was like, ooh, and they're like, that's the original Batman. I was like, what? You be kidding me? And then I remember when Preston came in there dressed like a freak.
I was dressed as a steampunk Green Lantern. By the way.
So Preston Preston and his future wife.
In this world, you're the freak, Chris.
I was gonna say you are outnumbered, sir. As I sit here with goggles on my head.
I didn't honestly understand how big this was until I walked next door and walked in there and I looked around. And I was like, wow. I was like, this is awesome. Because there's so many cool things that I've seen from whenever I was a kid. And it brought back a lot of memories. And then it started to kind of resonate with me, which I still wasn't real big on it like Preston was. And as time went on, I started to respect it a little bit more and just how cool the whole aspect was, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to be involved with Rockabilly Roadtrip.
Right. Well, and I mean, the thing is with comics is that it really does kind of transcend all kinds of people and all kinds of cliques and cliches and whatever. I'm a person that kind of fits into a couple different categories. One of the big ones being I'm sporty. Like I play volleyball, I go out and I was a kind of a jock for a lot of like my school years and stuff like that. I was either a jock or a bitch. Those were my two like go-tos, but everybody goes, I was a jock bitch. It was great. It was super fun, really lonely. Had lots of non-friends because, bitches are bitches. But the thing is like the stories and stuff that are being told in those, they transcend all of these kind of weird little like barriers that we put people into and worlds that we think don't ever collide. Because it's good storytelling. And, when you start looking at like cosplay and shit like that, that's just really getting into that storytelling and wanting to be more actively a part of it.
Well, I think it's also the imagination part of like the comics that go so far back all the way into till today that when somebody had started something years ago and as it's built up to say the point that it is now, that the creativity is the cool part. It's kind of like when you hear old people say, oh, that music sucks, back in my day. And I used to hear old people say that when I was younger. And now I'm saying the same shit because I'm looking back on the music that I grew up with.
I used to slap the piss out of them whenever they would say stupid shit like that.
Well, now see, the cool thing is now I've learned to kind of respect it. I understand.
Have you took your medicine yet?
Tell me, Preston.
Go change your diaper and shut the hell up. No,
but you do realize Rockabilly Roadtrip is going on a decade now.
Yeah, but
let's think about this. We didn't even have smartphones when you and Jesse came up with Rockabilly Roadtrip. Like there was no iPhone. None of that shit didn't even exist. None of it.
2006?
No,
definitely.
The iPhone didn't come out until 07?
I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Something doesn't sound right about that.
You're not even. You're the asshole that's not even got a picture up, like a video up on here.
This is what I look like. This is what I look like.
The original iPhone was announced by Steve Jobs, who's now dead, on January 9th, 2007.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I rest my case.
No.
You were brought in 2000. I don't know if you rested your case as much as you hoped.
But we
Okay, so I didn't have my smartphone until 2009, but you can stream videos on it. I can assure you that.
The biggest problem we've had with Rockabilly Roadtrip is getting people to actually try it. Because it's not a spandex book, and people, even though, like, they should be able to relate to it because of TV shows and stuff like Knight Rider, the Dukes of Hazzard. What else? The monsters with the the Gothic princess as far as their cars. A lot of people, for some reason, just weren't like they get hooked on it once they start reading it. But to get them to actually pick it up and give it a shot is a task. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I honestly think it is?
What's that?
It's a matter of exposure because I found you because of the one or two people that are on Twitter that will post 6 campaigns, like at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only reason that I know that Rockabilly Roadtrip exists.
Wow.
Is that right? And that's the thing is, like, Preston, how long have I been following you on Twitter? Like, we've had back and forth before, and I had no clue until I saw that, and then I reached out and was like, "Yo, you know, would you like to come on the show?" And then we start talking. You're like, "Oh, I've got all of these projects going." I'm like, "Where the crap is all of this been? I don't know any of this." And I'm like, percent of my job for Red Valkyrie is out, and who I need to talk to get him on the show. It was like most of what I do.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, exposure is a big part. Like, we don't have anybody that's super savvy as far as, like, we're all busy as shit. I mean, Jesse's running like a fucking $1 million, you know, internet company over there in New York. Chris is redoing cars and all this kind of crap. And me, well, I'm chasing a buck. I'm a working artist. But we don't have anybody that runs our social media or anything like that to go ahead and push the book or push the merchandise or anything like that. So we're basically responsible for that ourselves, and it's difficult because you know, because the first thing you got to do is you got to build up an audience, you know, and that's rough by itself to go ahead and get people to subscribe to you, get people to go ahead and follow you on social media.
You know what I would even go a little bit further to is all 3 of you in your own vein are creators, right? So Preston is an artist. Chris is, you know, a builder kind of dude who's going to take shit that shouldn't exist and make it exist. And, you know, you got Jesse, who's a writer. All of you guys are creators. And historically speaking, y'all suck at promoting yourself so much.
Absolutely.
You guys are like, look, I just do the pretty things. Somebody else is the one that's supposed to be like, hey, you should totally go check this out. Like, you guys suck at doing that part so much.
You know you can make money at that?
You know that we try.
No, he means do you know that you can make money at selling your art? Yeah. If you actually tried to sell it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know, I think the factor that's involved here too is that we all have, you know, regular jobs on top of what we're doing. Like Jesse, you know, has an internet company, and I do cars, and
but that's the thing though is if you're really gonna go that route, I'm gonna have to call a little bit of BS. I got 2 jobs.
No. I don't think we have traditional jobs though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jesse's his own boss. We all work for ourselves, but in a lot of like, I would say that's a little bit harder than working for somebody, because you have.
It's harder to time manage, right? And because a lot of the time it all just relies on you, and so how much effort you're putting into either side, because Rockabilly Roadtrip is in and of itself its own thing.
Well,
yes.
So
you got to divvy your time up, right?
Yeah.
So one thing, like, I do promotions and stuff. Like I had. So I do festivals and, you know, concerts and stuff.
Right.
Which, like, we booked Drowning Pool and Lit and other bands last year. Preston was there with us, but the promotions I do there, it's like I really focused in on it, and we built kind of a following of it, and, you know, people show up, but it's like when you're doing this and then you're doing that and you're doing that and then you're raising kids on top of that, and then everything kind of takes its tier on where it belongs in your life.
Fuck those kids.
Whereas that's what I say.
No, what was it? If you wear them the right way? What was that before the stream started? If you wear them the right way. But, go ahead, Shae. Fill us in.
That's what Shae was talking about, wearing children. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I do in my spare time, yo.
I got baby boots.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hey, you want an interesting guest. I'm just saying.
I
I'm just putting it
did.
out
I'm regretting it now.
I'm really not sure that the stream is staying up. I'm just gonna be honest.
Well, we're getting reported like so bad. I guarantee it. It's fine.
It'll be fine. You're good. You're good.
Whatever. So after all of the very many tangents and hilarious freaking stories, you want to maybe like check out some of the comic book art?
Yeah, I actually worked hard on this last issue. It came out really good. I liked it. We had a great colorist on it. Yeah. I'm not going to mention
sure, yeah. I'm not sure the order of any of this that I'm going to show.
We don't even need the order because let's be real, I ain't trying to spoil anything for anyone. So if you're really interested in wanting to know how this is logically going to work out,
buy
back
the book.
I'm just going to bring up random shit. So
I like it.
Yeah.
She's so
yeah. This is yeah, she is. I'm a boob and butt guy, so.
So Patches has both in excess, is what you're saying.
Well, if you want me to envision a woman, it's going to be that type of woman. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm noticing something else.
So you're not into ears or anything like that?
You would be surprised what I'm into, but we're not going to cover that.
Hey, Preston.
Sexy ankles.
Boob. I see that you don't restrict those to just the women.
Well, I was going off a model on that one, so.
Some butts.
Oh
my goodness.
Yeah, so this issue, for anyone contemplating joining the Indiegogo, we've been doing this for 10 years. You're definitely going to get fulfillment, and actually the book's already done. We're just trying to offset some of the printing costs and come up with some cool perks.
Both books are already done.
Yeah. So this particular story, it's kind of a great jumping off point. If you have no idea who we are, it's based on a real urban legend where there's this illness called mercritis that only affects women, and it's transmitted by men. So basically the theory is men kind of catch this disease and they let off this odor that only women can smell, and when they smell it, they become just murderous.
Now, let me like go a little bit deeper on that. Way back in the day, people in Mississippi would use mercritis as an excuse to explain like menopause. So whenever a woman was going through menopause, they're like, "Oh, she's got mercritis. We got to kill her."
Oh, God.
So now this is also one of the reasons why, like. We made the story, we produced it, and then we had a publisher that was ready to sign up and publish it until we finished the book and we sent it off to them and they read it. And they're like, "We can't publish this. What are you, crazy?" It's too, like, at the time it was too much of a political hotbed for a story like that.
Well, right, because you were just having the SJW explosion back then.
Oh my God, did they? So we got eliminated like immediately. They were like, "No." I'm not going to mention I'll tell you the publisher off air, but it was yeah. And what's funny is that they put out like these XXX, well, not XXX, but like R-rated covers and stuff like that. But once we came out with a mercritis story, nope.
No, we draw the line at labeling bitchy women as shrews. Okay.
Jeez. Goodness. Ridiculous.
Yeah. But
so I'm just going to move through these a little bit. Do you guys mind if I explain a little bit about kind of what the book is in terms of what I've researched, like on Comixology and stuff like that?
No, go for it.
Okay. So my understanding is that this is basically a kind of like a series or a saga, and that you guys up until this point have had 155 pages, and I believe it's black and white.
Yes, that's from 2006 to 2013. All those issues from the first series, and that it's available in a trade paperback already, in the black and white version. Are you guys planning on also offering that as a perk or tea or whatever you want to call it on this campaign, or just the original? For a short time, we actually on you're right. It was available on Comixology, but that's about to come to an end. Okay. We had a publisher for a short time, but they kind of neglected the book. So when we finished this volume 2 of the new series, we decided to go ahead and just go to Indiegogo route and self-publish. And with that, yes, you will be able to get a physical copy of the 155-page black and white series to go along with the full color issue 1. Now, the issue 1 is actually going to be a true issue 1. It's going to be maybe in between 24 to 32 pages. It's definitely going to be 22 pages to 24 pages of story. And the rest of it's going to be eaten up with gallery and pinups.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what this says.
Live, love, laugh.
Yeah.
Those like live, laugh, love, inspirational.
Yeah, you got to
middle-aged women posters that are out there.
You got to read the word balloons. It's definitely not live, love.
Something like
trapped,
that.
They're trapped in the storeroom of an arts and crafts store filled with women who are now infected with arthritis.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was gnawing on that with a crazy ass look in her face in the last panel.
Do you see this shit?
I do.
Okay.
Now, Nick is kind of a chauvinist. He's like what everybody thinks the typical male is, but, probably isn't.
Very, very Captain Kirk, Bruce Campbell-ish.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, scroll up just a little. I just want to read that word bubble. I love laughing at your grave when I'm done with you.
Shae, that hair.
Got it. I can do this. Oh gosh. I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna make it work. It's gonna happen.
I'll send you some gauntlets.
Yeah.
There's gauntlets right there.
And those gauntlets, just saying, Preston.
Push up.
Oh man, no, it's such an interesting design. It's so like fun and different.
We did 2 different designs, like the story from 2006 to 2013, I think it was. Mm-hmm. She has a completely different outfit. She has more of a mad scientist look. Yeah. Whereas for the new series, I wanted to make it like more interesting and more steampunk oriented.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
Is she Lady Liberty?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all part of the story. You got to check it out.
I love it.
We're gonna craft. Hey Shae, remember that discussion we had earlier today?
We're gonna embrace these so-called womanly tendencies, and we're gonna knit. We're gonna quilt.
So I was thinking more along the lines of MMOs, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, Patches is she's the opposing force to Nikki's personality, and a lot of people, like the other publishing company, never got that. They never kind of got what we were going for. They just seen like a political mess coming down the pipes. Like, we don't want to have anything to do with this. Sorry.
Yeah.
He manned her. She's gonna kick his ass.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
This is so interesting.
It is.
I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah, that's why they found the underground base where we're being kept that's infected with macritis.
And here okay. Now no spoilers.
Women only.
No men.
Oh my gosh. It's the true no man's land.
Boy,
thank you for humor.
You guys are so lucky that SJW movement isn't as strong as it was before.
Yeah, there you go. Got on site.
Here's the thing. Bring it. I've had every possible experience. I've had the women who were like, you obviously just don't understand what we're fighting for, so we'll fight for you, you stupid woman in the corner. And I was like, you literally just said what you say men say, and it was you that said it. It wasn't. I've never had a dude have the balls to say that.
They just woman-splained to a woman. Did they
brainwashed by the patriarchy?
Is it the internalized misogyny? Is that what they gave you?
Yes. Brainwashing by the patriarchy and internalized misogyny. Therefore, it's like Munchausen syndrome, and I've become accustomed to my captors. That is apparently.
Like, did they tell you this like in person, or was it like?
Like anyone would say that to my face.
You did say you were 6'1".
No one say that to my face. It happens over chat where they feel like they're safe.
Oh,
Where they think they're safe.
Where they think they're safe. They do not understand the power of VPN.
That's a page from the 155 page black and white tree.
Oh, this is super cool.
Yeah, that's our Vampires in Vegas. That actually goes along with the cover you guys use for the ad ticket for the show.
Nice. Gosh, I love this car. And the fact that you guys built it is just hilarious.
Yeah, we went a little far. A little overboard, maybe.
You're like, we're really into our comic. We built the car.
Oh, what's that? You got a couple of people playing your character? Oh, that's great. Here's our car. Oh, you got stickers made. That's cute.
You like stickers? I've got a car. He's like, can I drive it? No one can.
It's
no one should. Stay away.
Unless you're a licensed stuntman, you better not get on that wheel.
Right. And then he'll just look at you like you're stupid.
Yeah, he'll just be like, Jesse, don't do it, man.
Not unless you got not unless you got a bathing suit to go in that swamp with.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, this has been a fucking riot. This has been a hilarious stream. I'm having so much fun with this. I can't think of any super pressing questions other than when are you guys going to launch?
We're shooting for either mid to late February.
Okay.
And we're going to be actually wrapping things up this month as far as getting all the perks and everything down. We're trying to get 45s, like some vinyl made, where the cover will be, it'll be my artwork, the Rockabilly Road Trip art, and it'll be a 45, like a vinyl 45. Since vinyl is so popular. It'll be the Rockabilly Road Trip theme song on one side and then a karaoke version on the other side.
Oh, that's awesome. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. I'm like, if you guys have the rights to it, you need that song on the 45.
Yeah, yes. We have a sing-along on our YouTube station where you can sing along with the,
That's fucking awesome.
Oh
wow, that's unique.
That is super unique.
Yes.
Yeah.
So out of all of these, we've covered so many people's campaigns, and the past couple of people that we've talked to and have had some of the most original ideas for what they wanted to bring to their campaign, and this is definitely one of them. This is hilarious, and it sounds like so much fun to be able to really give people something that you don't normally get. I've never seen a campaign where somebody's like, here's a vinyl of our theme song because we have a theme song.
That a real band did, not like
that an actual band. This isn't my cousin in his garage. This is a real band.
Yeah. This isn't like, your editor on a keyboard or something.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Jesse's sitting there like, I got this, bitches. Turn that back around, all right.
Originally the first couple of issues of Road Trip was actually there to promote indie bands, and we were like after the book was done. Yeah, no, you saying it.
Jesse, do you have a cat?
I pray to God you have a cat.
Oh, that was a penis.
No cat. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Just walked right in front of his camera and all you saw was tail moving straight up and down.
My favorite part of this is Jesse looking at the camera and you watch his eyes and he's like, I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh.
Or were you just scared that the cat was gonna turn towards you and give us
Give us a very different view.
Give us chewed up bubble gum.
Anyway.
Shae made the face. Perfect. So yes, now that I've killed it, awesome unique campaign, guys. There is one more video to show. Does anyone want to see it?
Absolutely.
The one on your campaign page.
Yes.
And Shae, I want you to notice the suggested videos when I share this before I hit play. It's coming.
Sure. I can't keep doing it because we'll get struck.
Can you tell?
Oh, nice! It's all from MagFest, right?
Yeah, and the funny part is, I was watching on Twitch, not on YouTube. So somehow YouTube knows from
That's
Twitch
creepy.
exactly.
That is
That's
super
weird.
creepy. Big Brother is everywhere, guys.
Fucking Google. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Was it loud enough last time?
Put that bitch on 11.
Oh my God.
All the way up.
All right.
Welcome to Rockabilly Roadtrip. Rockabilly Roadtrip is the story of Nicky the Pipe. Nicky has one special talent. He can build anything. After completing work on his hellish hot rod, which he lovingly calls his devil driver, Nicky finds that his life is still missing something. So he focuses his amazing talents on building Patches, a bombshell of a driving companion, to complement the look of his demonic hot rod. Oh, but Rockabilly Roadtrip isn't anything but typical. Our heroes encounter chainsaw-wielding psychos in Texas, greaser aliens from outer space at Area 51, and a voodoo zombie infestation at a roadside stop in Louisiana are just the start of the problems our heroes run into on the road trip of a lifetime. In issue 1 of their brand new full-color series, Nicky and Patches battle a mysterious illness that is driving the women in a small Mississippi town psychotic. So come along for the cross-country love story adventure that is Rockabilly Roadtrip.
That is so awesome. I love a lot of the little the ways that you kind of have drawn and like displayed Patches and everything. Like when she's sitting on the cover and she's just just like, yes, like she's such a badass. Oh no, because she wasn't.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, the Elvira kind of looking version, was that also Patches?
Yeah, but that's from a story that we did that was based off of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Gotcha.
And like Vampira was in Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I figured it'd be fun to go ahead and make her look like Vampira a little bit in that issue. That's a pretty cool issue. And that's one thing about the trade that I forgot to mention. Is that the only way to get the 6th issue of the old series is to get the trade, because it was never printed as a floppy. It was only printed in the trade.
Very cool. Jeez. All right. Well, I'm gonna just make the call because I'll just go along with whatever I say. When you guys go live and you have your campaign, I definitely want to bring you guys back on for sure, so we can kind of go through your tiers and see all that kind of stuff. I'm super eager to see
absolutely
how you guys are gonna bring all this together. This is a very interesting project. You guys are freaking hilarious, and this seriously, this seems like just a really awesome concept. And you've been at it for over a decade already, and so like it's not that there's not enough story to tell. You guys obviously have plenty of story, and you're hitting a new audience that has probably never seen any of it, and so you guys can do some really cool package deals and stuff like that if that was something you were interested in, to create this brand new fan base that, usually when you do an Indiegogo, you have to wait anywhere between 6 months and a year for you to get one issue, and you never know if they're going to do another one. You never know if the cliffhanger that they gave you is ever going to get resolved, or if you're going to have to like read about it in Cliff Notes or a webcomic, or just have to make up your own. And you guys kind of get to show them, like, we have a couple that give you this world, and so you can back and end up getting a backlog of stories instead of just one. And I think that would be a really smart move on your part to kind of bring that, because most Indiegogos don't have that ability.
Yeah. Plus, each story is pretty self-contained, so it's not like you'll be missing out on it. You never read another road trip issue, you'd have the complete story for that issue. So
that's super awesome.
Yeah, you're right. There's a huge body of work there that people will be getting.
That's really cool. So, do you have any other questions for them, Sai?
No, I was just going to say that what I really love about this is that you guys take it seriously, and that you're going way, way over the top of what you do for it. The car, the vinyl, all that kind of stuff, and that's fucking awesome. But it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is awesome.
it seems like a really fun story that knows exactly what it's trying to do and isn't like trying to span several genres. It's hitting its mark and staying right where it wants to be, which is awesome.
Well, you guys are under the mistaken impression that we're actually professionals. We're fucking idiots.
Trust me, at no point in time have I mistaken anyone on this show as being a professional at anything.
Shall I pull up the video of the mud ditch again?
Right? Super pro.
Proving my point.
No, but the thing is, though, is you guys aren't professionals, but you guys are fans, and you guys enjoy this entire, like, this genre. You enjoy these kinds of stories and comics and stuff like that, and that is what you're bringing to this, which is, there's two ways that fan made goes. It either goes insanely bad, where like everyone is worse off for anything having ever happened. Like some fan made stuff, you're like, please just don't ever talk again and go sit in the corner. Or you get this, you get where things are just so much better than you ever thought they could be. And I think that's kind of where you guys are sitting.
Well, thank
You're
you.
my new best friend, Shae.
We love you, Shae.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Well, I mean, someone's got to.
Damn! See, every time I feel good.
I have to bring her back down. It's
Thanks. Heaven forbid I get any self-confidence.
No, we can't have that. We can't.
Yeah,
have
we don't
that.
want you getting out of control with that.
No, yeah. When she'll leave the show, she'll be like, I'm better than this. Fuck that.
All right. Well, honestly, this has been a freaking blast. I've super enjoyed having you guys on. We got the link for the mailing list. So if you're interested in Rockabilly Roadtrip, you want to know more about it, you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything, get some special perks and all that cool stuff, make sure that you hop on Indiegogo, put your email in, and so you can stay up to date with everything. We will definitely have you guys back on when you're actually live, and so we can go over all of that. I apologize for my dog. He won't stop. And as always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Make sure that you follow everybody here on Twitter, and definitely make sure that you share this around, because Rockabilly Roadtrip sounds like a really, really fun comic, and I think that it definitely deserves a lot more exposure and a ton of backers. I think you guys are going to do great. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for everyone who's watching in replay, and anyone who's popped into the chat and said, hey, or just kind of stalked. We appreciate you guys so much, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Later. Bye-bye.